Welcome back to another video. So in today's one, you've just got your temporary visa, which means you've got at least 2 years in Australia, and now you've got 3 options to what to do with your house. So stay tuned. So 3 options are
So if you're renting or you own back in the UK, you're going to need to do something with your property, and that means either ending your lease if you're renting or choosing what to do with your property if you own it. So you're either going to give it back if you're renting, or you're going to put a tenant in it so that it's making you money whilst you're here. And for some people, that's a real sort of safety net in case you need to come back to the UK. Or if you own the property, then you may decide to sell it before you come out to help you with obviously the expensive funds that you'll need to get you over here and get you started.
check out our other videos about how much it costs to emigrate. So you've chosen to rent your property out. So your options are you can obviously do it yourself, which is quite risky, as in you could get dodgy tenant. We've heard some stories of people renting out friends and it's not gone well. Your other option is obviously get a rental agent, but then you've got to pay a small charge on top of that. Peace of mind, I guess. They can sort out problems if you're obviously the other side of the world.
Also, you've got somebody in your property, so there's always lights on, there's always someone there. You haven't got to worry about people knowing that you're not at home.
Yeah. I guess the other things is if there's going to be things that break, I guess some things you're kind of liable to fix, like lights and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of your options for renting it out.
There's also savings to be made on renting it out, though. Your tenant will pay your council tax, for example. They'll pay all of,
The bills.
yeah, all of the bills, electricity, gas, water. So yeah, there's pluses and minuses.
Yeah. So another option is to leave your property empty. Downsides, there are a lot of downsides to that. Obviously, you've still got to pay council tax. Obviously, no one's going to be in there, so you've got the risk of pipes bursting or something like that.
Yeah, you will have all sorts of conditions attached to your mortgage and your house insurance, so you can no longer have normal house insurance because you're not going to be there all of the
Well, you'd have
time.
to cover it as like a holiday home, I guess, wouldn't you? So obviously, your premium's going to be more for that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
you have to make sure you do certain things like have your heating on to a certain level certain times of the year. Um, to again make sure that things like that don't happen. Obviously, you're going to also need to make sure that you have friends and family to check on your property
you know,
regularly.
or at least neighbours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then you've got like the security issue. So if you need to put cameras up or anything like that. I know a lot of people these days you got Ring doorbells and other doorbells, video doorbells, which you've then got to pay internet for. So you've then got to try and find a cheap internet package, which is again more cost.
if you are going to leave it empty as well, you need to think about your post and you need to have it redirected to somebody that you trust so that there's not piles of post piling up because passers-by will notice that there's no one collecting that post.
Yeah, you also obviously you would need. I think you can get like these smart thermostats, which can keep like obviously during the winter when you're not there or whatever. Which obviously England's going to be quite cold. You could risk your pipes freezing if you don't have like a bit of circulation in the pipes. Yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of downsides to leaving it empty.
You probably still want to get your windows cleaned because, again, if you don't get your windows cleaned and somebody notices that they're not being cleaned, people are going to know that you're not at your property. And that's where obviously you run the risk of having your house burgled. You might not have anything in there anymore. You may have transported all of your stuff to Australia. However, you don't want to come back and find a squatter in your house.
Yeah, yeah, imagine that. Yeah, also you've got electricity to keep the internet going for your cameras, and then obviously it's quite expensive. You've got daily charges that the companies like to charge you over there. So yeah, that's another factor to think of.
So lots of different options to consider, and obviously you have to decide which one is the best for you. They all have advantages and disadvantages, and it just has to be about what works for you in what time frame. Obviously, yeah, with a temporary visa, you kind of know when you should sort of have some idea of whether you're staying or whether you're going to go back to UK. So definitely plan ahead in terms of things like that.
Yeah, there's things like that people don't think of. They think, yeah, I've got a visa, right, let's go. And then you're like, what are we going to do for a house? So yeah, I know it's a little brief video, but hope it's kind of gave you a little bit of food for thought. Thanks for watching.
And yeah, thank you for liking our videos and subscribing. It really helps the channel. See you next time.